Many people think that it is not lifestyle related, but age related. Therefore, it's inevitable. When you say age related, then it becomes foggy to me. I mean, what does old age mean to you? For me, it might be 70, 80, 90 years old. Contrary to common myths or beliefs that it's age related, I want to believe that that's actually true, but it's not. How can I explain the fact that I am taking off, or at least preventing my patients from needing blood pressure medications, and they are as old as 80 years old? Weeks ago, I read this article. The WHO released its first ever report on the devastating impact of high blood pressure on a global scale, worldwide. And the side of that fact is that nearly half of those people with hypertension globally are currently unaware of their condition. Yet, this is common, deadly condition that leads to stroke, to heart attack, heart failure, kidney failure, and other serious health problems. High blood pressure in itself at an early stage, you don't expect symptoms. Another serious consequences of uncontrolled hypertension is heart failure. So let me ask you something. What do you think is the most vital organ of your body? Choose one. The heart is like no other. I think it is the most hardworking part of our body. The most essential but not easily replaceable. Yet the heart seems the most neglected, the most unprotected, the most abused, in my opinion. How can we forget that our heart needs the most loving, when love, the most powerful force on earth that humans possess, springs from the heart? What's up, everybody? It's Dr. Edelita, and welcome to my Sunday drive. I am an internal medicine and lifestyle medicine doc who once became a patient, learned life and health lessons along my journey to wellness. My words are powerful and life-changing, but it's not a medical advice that's meant to replace conventional medicine. I'm here to help you level up your game from simply watching your mind and body break down to taking charge, owning your right to live on your terms and not by the disease. This is a no judgment zone group. We are here to be informed. We are here to be empowered so that we can make better choices in our food and our lifestyle. Today, I'm going to talk about hypertension or high blood pressure. Many people think that it is not lifestyle related, but age related. Therefore, it's inevitable. Now, I have a problem with that. When you say age related, then it becomes, foggy to me. I mean, what does old age mean to you? Because for me, it might be 70, 80, 90 years old. For my friend, it could be 60 or 50, or another person, old age may mean like once you hit 40, then you're old, right? Now, contrary to common myths or beliefs that it's age related, I beg to disagree. I want to believe that that's actually true, but it's not. Because then if I do believe in that, how can I explain the fact that I am taking off, or at least preventing my patients from needing blood pressure medications, and they are as old as 80 years old? Therefore, it's not absolutely age related. Weeks ago, I read this article. The WHO released its first ever report on the devastating impact of high blood pressure on a global scale, worldwide. They say that the number of people living with blood pressure of 140 over 90 or above, or those taking blood pressure medications, has doubled. It has doubled from 1990 to 2019, from 650 to 1.3 billion. That's just mind-blowing, right? To give you an idea, that's about 20% of the world population. So 20% of the world population are already hypertensive. And the sad of that fact is that nearly half of those people with hypertension globally are currently unaware of their condition. Yet, this is common, deadly condition that leads to stroke, to heart attack, heart failure, kidney failure, and other serious health problems. Now, let's talk more about hypertension. Hypertension means high blood pressure. That's what it is. You see, our blood, these red things here, our blood applies pressure against the wall of our arteries so that it can flow through or pass through. Think of the arteries are like highways, and the blood is your cars passing through the highway. Our blood has to possess that pressure, drive against the pressure to pass through. Arteries carry blood from the heart to other areas, organs, important parts of the body. Now, arteries are normally, flexible, or there's that elasticity in it. It can expand or expand when it needs to, so that the blood pressure don't go up. But the problem with that ability is it goes away when the lining of your artery starts thickening. Look at this. It starts thickening. High blood pressure in itself at the early stage, you don't expect symptoms. About 90% or more of hypertensives don't experience any symptoms at all. They just know they're hypertensive because when their blood pressure is checked, it's high. So don't expect any symptoms. But if you're a person who's waiting for symptoms, know that you're not dealing with hypertension, just plain hypertension anymore. If you have symptoms, you will likely already be experiencing the signs and symptoms of the complications of hypertension. Like, for example, if there's significant thickening in your artery, the passage for blood to flow has decreased significantly. And so when you're exerting, when you're exercising, when you're walking, you're just doing your thing, you get short of breath, you get chest pain, chest tightness, chest discomfort, get lightheaded, headache, dizziness, or just plainly tired. And these are constitutional symptoms. If this happens in the kidneys, then you may, see blood in the urine or decreased urination. You're already suffering from kidney failure. So know that the symptoms of hypertension nowadays have evolved into just basically the symptoms of the complications of hypertension. So you're dealing with multiple diseases already. Now, persistently high blood pressure can cause inflammation in the arteries that starts buildup of cholesterol. This eventually leads to cutting off blood supply in the vessels, causing heart attack, which is the number one cause of death worldwide. It doesn't matter if you're a rich country or a poor country. Heart disease remains the number one cause of death. How do you know? Well, let's talk about how do you know if you have high blood pressure. Normal blood pressure is a blood pressure of less than 120 and less than 80. If your blood pressure is running between 120 to 129, your blood pressure is elevated. And so you could easily accelerate to stage 1, stage 2 hypertension or hypertensive crisis, which is, having a blood pressure more higher than 140. The consequences of high blood pressure are serious. One is heart attack. If you're lucky, it's not a massive heart attack that you're rushed to the hospital and you're still a candidate for heart stent or heart bypass. I do have a separate video about heart attack. But heart attack, that can be fatal. Another serious side effect, another serious consequences of uncontrolled hypertension is heart failure. What is heart failure? Let's not forget that the heart is a muscular organ. Okay, it's a muscular organ, and like any other parts of the body, it in itself needs to be supplied with oxygen and nutrients. Therefore, blood flow is very, very important. But blood flow decreases when blood pressure is high. If your heart muscle is not getting enough oxygen and nutrients, it becomes weak. Are you still following? It becomes weak. And there is a test that doctors will order to see the pumping, capacity of your heart. And we call that echocardiogram. That is a test to measure the pumping ability of your heart, and it is expressed in percentage. It measures what we call the ejection fraction. That is the amount of blood that your heart pumps each time it beats. A normal ejection fraction is between 55 to 70%. This week, I just had a patient. He knows that his blood pressure has been running high for years, and he didn't do anything about it. I saw him in the clinic, and his blood pressure was 180 over 100. On top of that, he had other serious complications too. But anyway, he put it off for a year or years before he decided to take charge. He was short of breath, and his legs were swollen too. And then an echocardiogram was done. Guess what? So what's his ejection fraction? What did we say? Normal is 55 to 70%. His is 15 to 20%. It's significantly reduced pumping ability of the heart. So heart is failing. Now, more than 3/4 of adults, 3/4, of adults with hypertension live in low and middle income countries. And this is what concerns me too. Give you a perspective, let me share with you this map. Low and middle income countries. Those are the places where 3/4 of the world's hypertensive patients are living. And that is represented by purple color. If you look at the lower income countries, it's the African countries and the Asian countries. Asian countries. 3/4 of adults with hypertension live in these countries. You imagine the financial constraints. Financial constraints is unbelievable if we rely on medications only. Now, what are the risk factors for developing hypertension so that you're aware if you are, a candidate for hypertension? Let's look at this. Contrary to what we know or what we want to believe, that hypertension is age related, that is not absolutely true. As you can see, I put that here, down here. I put that down here. The last, old age. What is the number one or the top most contributor to high blood pressure? Tell you what, it's just a 4-letter word. It's in the food. FOOD. Food high in fat, high in cholesterol, sugar, salt. These are powerful accelerators of blood pressure. Diet. You put in grease in your body, you load your body with a lot of sugar and salt more than what you need. You'll expect your body to cry out loud and give you what you don't want to get. So then, if it's food that causes hypertension, then it's food that's going to cure hypertension. Adopting a diet that is low in fat, zero cholesterol, no added sugar, and just the natural sugar from natural food, and limiting the intake of salt. Tell you, it's just food, but it's powerful. I would say that about 80% of my patients, that's how I take them off medications. That's how they become healthier and their heart and vessels healthier. So if you want to start somewhere, start with food. And that's why I strongly advocate a whole food plant-based diet. Because that's low in fat, zero cholesterol. I get my sugar from natural sources. And I limit the salt. If you have to ask me where should I start there. Now, other risk factors include smoking, sedentary lifestyle. It doesn't really matter if you exercise in the gym for an hour or 2 every day. Matters is what you're doing in the next 23 hours of that day. Alcohol, inadequate sleep are also drivers of hypertension, and living in a chronic stress lifestyle. When you're chronically stressed, you might not feel that you're stressed because you're used to it, but the body does not care. When it's stress, it's going to summon your stress hormones like crazy, and these hormones are going to drive your blood pressure. Not only that, your blood sugar, and cause not only that, inflammation in your arteries, and many, many more. Old age, my friends, that's in the bottom list of risk factors. So if you notice, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 6 out of these 7 risk factors are modifiable. Modifiable, that means we can change this. Imagine if you change all this. Please don't forget that life is on the line when you change your diet. So let me ask you something. What do you think is the most vital organ of your body? Just choose one. The heart is like no other. The heart is like no other. I think it is the most hardworking part of our body. No, no, the most essential, but not easily replaceable. Good luck finding a heart donor. Good luck spending millions to replace your heart muscle. It's the most hardworking, not replaceable. Yet the heart seems the most neglected, the most unprotected, the most abused, in my opinion, of all the organs of the body. How can we forget that our heart needs the most loving? When love, the most powerful force on earth that humans possess, springs from the heart. Think about it. Thank you for joining me, my friends, my dear lifestyle changers. I hope you'll make it a Sunday routine to join me live here. It's every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And to my kababayans in the Philippines, it's Sunday, 11 p.m. Bye, everyone. Please don't forget your heart. Love it, and it will love you back. I'll see you next week. Bye.